Hi, this is Ram from ramkedem.com. This lesson is an introduction to SQL Scalar Functions. What is a scalar function? Let me give you a quick example just for you to grasp the general idea. Let's type the following query. Let's say select last name upper last name from customers. Let's highlight and execute. Scalar functions are functions which can be applied on a column, and for each row inside that column, these functions return some value. For example, as you can see, we applied the upper function on the last name column, and for each row inside the last name, the upper function returned the last name in uppercase. So basically, this is what row functions are all about, performing manipulations on different types of columns. We type the function name, and within the brackets, we specify the column. Now, you should note that there are different types of scalar functions. We have scalar functions for string values, like the last name column. We have scalar functions for numeric columns, and so on. The purpose of next lessons is not to show you all the existing scalar functions in SQL Server, but to show you more common functions and demonstrate the general idea behind each type of functions. As I mentioned in the course introduction, most of the SQL syntax is the same, no matter what database platform you are using, Oracle, Microsoft, or MySQL. One place where you can see quite a lot of differences is here in scalar functions. So, for example, there are functions that exist only in SQL Server, there are functions that exist only in Oracle, and so on. This is something you should know to yourself before we continue. One more thing. Up until this point, I told you that SQL statements should include at least select and from clauses. Now, let's say I want to know what is the output of 1 plus 1. I can simply type select 1 plus 1 and execute. In this case, there is no reason to use the from clause. I'm not using any table to calculate this expression. Why this is important? Say we want to learn how to use the upper function. So we open Google and we see some examples. Now we want to test the upper function in our own environment. Instead of querying a table with potentially huge number of records, just to understand how a function works, we can say select upper hello. And this is a good way to learn how a specific function works without invoking it on a real environment where we can potentially harm the database performance. So this is one use case where we don't need to use the from clause in our queries. Okay, so this lesson was a quick introduction to SQL Scalar Functions. Please feel free to ask any question you may have in the comments section below. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.